Have you ever noticed that something feels slightly different than it used to, especially when it comes to your energy, your drive, and your confidence in the bedroom? It is not always sudden and it is not always obvious, but over time, many men begin to sense that their body is no longer responding the way it once did. For men over 50, there is often a quiet and overlooked reason behind this shift, and that reason is falling testosterone. This hormone is not just another number on a lab report. It sits at the very core of a man's vitality. It supports muscle strength, it sustains stamina, and it plays a direct role in performance and confidence. Now, while it is true that testosterone naturally declines as part of aging, what most men are never told is that daily food choices can either support this hormone or slowly work against it. What you eat each day is not neutral. It is either helping your body maintain balance or quietly disrupting it over time. I am Dr. Charlotte Hayes, and today I want to walk you through something simple but powerful. We are going to talk about 4 specific nuts that can naturally support testosterone and help maintain strong, steady energy. And just as important, we will also look at 2 common nuts that can quietly lower your levels if you rely on them too often. By the time you reach the end of this discussion, you will have a clear understanding of which choices support your body, which ones require moderation, and which ones are better limited if your goal is to feel stronger, more stable, and more in control of your health. So let us begin with the first testosterone-supporting nut, and that is walnuts. Walnuts may appear simple at first glance. Their shape is familiar, and they are often seen as just another snack. But when we look at their nutritional profile, they are far more significant than they seem. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These are healthy fats that your body depends on to keep its hormone system functioning properly. It is important to understand something fundamental here. Testosterone is not created out of nothing. It is built from cholesterol. And without the right types of fats available in your body, that process cannot happen efficiently. When your diet lacks these healthy fats, your body struggles to maintain proper hormone balance. Walnuts provide those essential building materials. They support your body in producing testosterone in a way that is steady and sustainable. This directly affects your energy levels. It influences your mood, and it plays a role in maintaining sexual health as well. But their benefit does not stop at hormone production alone. Walnuts also contain an amino acid known as arginine. Inside the body, arginine is converted into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide has a very specific and important function. It helps your blood vessels relax. It allows them to open more effectively. When circulation improves, everything changes. Blood flow becomes more efficient. And in terms of performance, that translates into stronger and more reliable function. This is why walnuts support not only testosterone production, but also the results that testosterone helps create. You are not just supporting a number. You are supporting how your body performs in real situations. Now, one of the most practical aspects of walnuts is that you do not need large quantities to benefit from them. This is not about excess. A small handful each day is enough. That simple habit provides your body with the raw materials it needs to keep testosterone levels steady and functioning properly. You can add them to a salad, you can mix them into oatmeal, or you can simply have them as a snack during the day. In each case, you are making a quiet but meaningful investment in your long-term health. Now let us move to the second nut that supports testosterone, and that is almonds. Almonds are widely available and easy to include in a daily routine. But what makes them especially valuable is their magnesium content. Magnesium is not just another mineral. It plays a direct role in testosterone production. Without enough magnesium, your body cannot maintain optimal levels of this hormone. What is often surprising is how many men are deficient in magnesium without realizing it. There are no immediate warning signs in many cases, but factors like ongoing stress, poor dietary habits, and even certain medications can gradually reduce magnesium levels in the body. Over time, this deficiency can contribute to lower testosterone, and when testosterone drops, the effects begin to show in energy, strength, and overall performance. By including almonds regularly in your diet, you begin to restore this important mineral. You give your body what it needs to support hormone production more effectively. But magnesium offers another important benefit as well. It helps increase what is known as free testosterone. This is an important distinction. Most of the testosterone in your body is bound to proteins. In that bound state, it is not active. It cannot be used by your body. Free testosterone, on the other hand, is the active form. It is the form your body can actually use. Magnesium helps release more of this free testosterone, making the hormone you already produce more effective. The result is not subtle. You may notice improved energy. You may experience better muscle strength. And overall performance tends to become more consistent. Almonds also provide vitamin E. This is a powerful antioxidant that protects the cells responsible for producing testosterone. It helps shield them from damage caused by stress and oxidative factors. In a way, it acts as a protective layer. It supports those cells so they can continue functioning properly over time. When you include almonds in your routine, whether as a snack, added to meals, or even in the form of almond butter, you are supporting both production and protection. You are giving your body stability as well as strength. Yes, surf ek choti si dietary adjustment lag sakti hai. Now let us continue with the third nut that plays a powerful role in supporting testosterone, and that is Brazil nuts. At first glance, they may not seem particularly special. They are not as commonly discussed as almonds or walnuts, and many people overlook them entirely. But when it comes to hormone health, Brazil nuts stand in a category of their own. The reason for this lies in a trace mineral called selenium. Selenium is something your body needs in very small amounts. But despite its small requirement, its impact is significant. In fact, Brazil nuts contain more selenium than almost any other natural food source available. To understand its importance, it helps to think of selenium as a spark plug in an engine. The spark plug itself is small, almost insignificant in size. But without it, the engine cannot function properly. In the same way, without adequate selenium, your body struggles to support key processes related to testosterone production and reproductive health. Selenium plays a role in activating certain enzymes that are directly involved in hormone balance. It also contributes to protecting sperm cells and supporting overall reproductive function. Clinical observations and research consistently show that men who maintain healthy selenium levels tend to have better hormonal balance. They often experience improved sperm quality, and their bodies are more capable of sustaining stable testosterone levels over time. But here is where careful attention is needed. With Brazil nuts, more is not better. This is one of those rare cases where moderation is essential. Because selenium is so concentrated in these nuts, consuming too many on a regular basis can lead to excess levels in the body. And excess selenium may create unwanted effects, including fatigue and imbalance. This is why I always advise a very precise approach. Just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day is sufficient. That small amount delivers everything your body needs without pushing it into excess. It is not about quantity. It is about consistency and accuracy. When used correctly, Brazil nuts act almost like a natural supplement. You can easily include them in your morning routine. They pair well with other nuts like almonds or walnuts, and together they create a simple combination that supports your body from multiple angles. Over time, this habit provides the spark your hormone system needs to function more efficiently. Now let us move to the fourth nut that supports testosterone, and that is pistachios. These small green nuts are often seen as a casual snack. They are commonly associated with taste rather than health benefits. But in reality, pistachios offer several advantages that directly support men's health. One of their most important effects is on circulation. Healthy blood flow is essential for performance. Without proper circulation, even normal testosterone levels may not translate into proper function. Pistachios help improve this by supporting healthier cholesterol levels. They assist in lowering what is commonly referred to as bad cholesterol. At the same time, they help maintain or even raise good cholesterol. This balance is important because it keeps your blood vessels clear and flexible. When arteries remain open and responsive, blood can flow freely throughout the body. And this includes areas that are directly involved in performance. So while testosterone plays a role, circulation ensures that its effects are actually delivered where they are needed. Pistachios also contain plant sterols. These are natural compounds that help support hormone balance. They assist your body in maintaining a healthier ratio between testosterone and estrogen. This balance becomes increasingly important with age. For men over 50, even small hormonal shifts can begin to affect energy, mood, and physical performance. By supporting this balance, pistachios help your body stay more stable. They also provide additional nutrients, including protein, fiber, and antioxidants. This means they do more than support hormones alone. They contribute to overall health and energy as well. A small handful of pistachios in the evening can be a practical choice. They help satisfy hunger without causing a spike in blood sugar. At the same time, they continue to provide nutrients that support hormone production and circulation. Over time, this simple habit can lead to noticeable improvements in energy levels and overall confidence. At this point, we've discussed 4 nuts that can support testosterone in different but complementary ways. Each one contributes something unique. Walnuts provide essential fats and support circulation. Almonds restore magnesium and increase active testosterone. Brazil nuts supply selenium and act as a trigger for hormone processes. And pistachios improve circulation while supporting hormonal balance. However, it is just as important to understand that not all nuts work in your favor. Some can quietly interfere with these same processes if consumed too often. Now that we have covered the nuts that actively support testosterone, it is just as important to understand the other side of the picture. Because not every nut works in your favor when it comes to hormone balance. Some choices that seem harmless at first can slowly create internal conditions that work against testosterone production over time. The first one to talk about is peanuts. Now, many people assume peanuts are simply another type of nut, but technically, they are not. Peanuts are actually legumes, which already sets them apart from true tree nuts like walnuts or almonds. This difference matters more than most people realize. One of the main concerns with peanuts is how they are processed and stored. In many cases, they are exposed to conditions where mold toxins can develop. These toxins are known as aflatoxins. And aflatoxins are not something the body handles easily. They can place stress on the liver, which is a crucial organ in hormone regulation. The liver plays a central role in maintaining hormonal balance, including testosterone metabolism. When it is under stress or damaged, its ability to regulate hormones efficiently begins to decline. This is where the problem starts quietly, without obvious symptoms at first. Another concern with peanuts is their fat profile. They contain a higher proportion of omega-6 fatty acids compared to omega-3s. Now, omega-6 fats are not inherently bad. Your body does need them in small amounts. But the issue arises when the balance between omega-6 and omega-3 becomes too heavily tilted toward omega-6. In modern diets, this imbalance is already very common. And when it becomes excessive, it can contribute to inflammation in the body. Inflammation is one of the key factors that can interfere with healthy testosterone levels. It creates a biological environment that is less supportive of hormone stability. So, while eating peanuts occasionally is not necessarily harmful, relying on them regularly as a daily snack can gradually affect your hormonal health in a negative way. It is a slow process, not an immediate one. But over time, these small dietary choices accumulate. Now let us move to the second nut that deserves caution, and that is cashews. Cashews are often considered a premium snack because of their taste and texture. They are widely used in cooking and are generally seen as a healthy option. And to be fair, they do contain beneficial nutrients. However, when we look specifically at hormone health, there are some limitations worth understanding. Cashews are relatively high in omega-6 fatty acids, especially when compared to omega-3 content. As we just discussed, too much omega-6 without enough omega-3 can disrupt the body's natural inflammatory balance. And this imbalance can have a direct or indirect impact on testosterone levels over time. Inflammation in the body does not just affect one system. It spreads its influence across multiple functions. Hormonal health is one of the areas that becomes affected when inflammation is consistently elevated. Another point to consider is how cashews are typically prepared. In many cases, they are roasted and salted, and sometimes processed in oils that further increase their inflammatory potential. This combination does not make them harmful in small amounts, but it does reduce their suitability as a daily staple for men focused on optimizing hormone health. Cashews also tend to be very easy to overeat. Because of their taste and texture, portion control can become difficult without realizing it. And when intake becomes frequent and high, the cumulative effect on dietary fat balance can start to matter. This does not mean cashews need to be completely avoided. That is not the point here. Instead, the key is awareness and moderation. Enjoying them occasionally is perfectly fine for most people, but relying on them as a primary snack choice is not ideal if your goal is to support stable testosterone levels. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, something important becomes clear. Your hormone health is not shaped by one single food. It is shaped by patterns, daily habits, repeated choices made over weeks, months, and years. That is why understanding both sides is so important. You now know which nuts provide support and which ones require caution. And this awareness alone can already shift your dietary decisions in a more balanced direction. Because ultimately, maintaining healthy testosterone is not about restriction or fear. It is about making informed, consistent choices that support your body instead of silently working against it. Now let us bring everything into a clearer, practical perspective so you can actually apply it in your daily life without confusion. Because understanding the science is only valuable if it translates into simple actions you can follow consistently. If your goal is to support healthy testosterone levels naturally, the first group of nuts you should focus on are walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, and pistachios. Each of these plays a slightly different role in supporting your hormone system, and together they create a balanced nutritional foundation. Walnuts provide essential omega-3 fatty acids, which help your body maintain proper hormone production. They also support circulation, which is important for overall physical performance. Almonds contribute magnesium and vitamin E, helping your body produce more usable testosterone while also protecting the cells involved in that process. Brazil nuts, even in very small amounts, supply selenium, which acts as a key trigger for hormonal activity and reproductive health. And pistachios support blood flow, cholesterol balance, and hormone regulation, all of which become increasingly important with age. When you combine these foods in a thoughtful way, you are not forcing your body to change. You are simply giving it the raw materials it already needs to function at a higher level. That is what makes this approach so effective. It works with your biology, not against it. Now, just as important as adding the right foods is understanding how to manage the ones that may not support you as well. Peanuts and cashews fall into this category. Peanuts, due to their potential exposure to mold toxins and their higher omega-6 content, can create unnecessary stress on the liver and contribute to inflammation when consumed too frequently. Cashews, while nutritious in moderation, can also tilt the body's fat balance toward omega-6 dominance, especially when eaten regularly in processed or salted forms. This does not mean these foods are completely off limits. It simply means they should not be the foundation of your daily snacking habits if your goal is hormonal stability. What matters most here is consistency over time. Your body does not respond to one meal or one snack. It responds to patterns. So if most of your daily choices support hormone health, your body will gradually reflect that stability. This is why simplicity is so powerful in this approach. You are not required to follow a complicated diet or depend on expensive supplements. Instead, small, repeated choices like choosing walnuts over peanuts or almonds over processed snacks begin to shape your internal balance in a meaningful way. Many men underestimate how much impact these small decisions have. But over weeks and months, they accumulate into noticeable differences in energy, mood, and physical performance. You may begin to feel more steady throughout the day, more consistent in your energy levels, and more confident in your overall physical presence. These changes are not sudden. They are gradual and steady, which is exactly what makes them sustainable. And that is the real goal here. Not quick fixes, not extreme changes, but long-term support for your body's natural hormone system. Because when your testosterone levels are supported in a healthy way, the effects go beyond physical strength. They influence motivation, focus, emotional balance, and overall quality of life. This is why nutrition is not just about food. It is about how you feel and function every day. When you align your diet with your body's needs, you are not just managing symptoms. You are supporting the foundation of your health. So let us now bring everything together in a clear and final understanding so you can leave this with a practical direction rather than just information. At the center of everything we have discussed is one simple truth. Testosterone is not just a hormone related to physical performance. It is deeply connected to your overall sense of strength, energy, confidence, and mental clarity. When it is balanced, life feels more stable and more driven. When it declines, the changes often appear gradually, not suddenly, which is why many men do not recognize the early signs. Aging is natural. That part cannot be avoided. But feeling weak, drained, or disconnected from your own vitality is not something you simply have to accept as inevitable. There are daily choices that influence how your body responds over time. And one of the most overlooked areas is nutrition, especially the small foods you consume regularly without much thought. Throughout this discussion, we focused on a very specific group of foods, nuts, because they are simple, accessible, and often already part of many diets. And yet, their impact on hormone health can be surprisingly significant. When you consistently include walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, and pistachios in your diet, you are giving your body targeted nutritional support. Walnuts help provide essential fats that support hormone production and circulation. Almonds supply magnesium and vitamin E, which assist both in testosterone production and cellular protection. Brazil nuts deliver selenium in a concentrated form that helps activate hormonal processes. And pistachios support healthy blood flow and maintain a better balance between key hormones. Together, these foods work in different but complementary ways. They do not force change. They support function. And over time, that support becomes noticeable in how your body feels and performs. At the same time, being mindful of peanuts and cashews adds another layer of balance to your approach. Peanuts, due to potential mold exposure and their inflammatory fat profile, can place unnecessary strain on your system when consumed too frequently. Cashews, while beneficial in moderation, can contribute to an imbalance in fatty acids if they become a daily staple. Again, this is not about strict avoidance. It is about awareness and proportion, because your hormonal health is shaped not by a single food, but by repeated choices over time. This is what makes this approach realistic. There is no need for extreme diets or complicated routines. You are not required to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. Instead, you are simply making smarter, more informed decisions about what you already eat. And that is where the real transformation happens. Not in drastic changes, but in consistent, small improvements that build on each other. When your body receives the right nutritional support over time, the effects are not just physical. You may notice improved energy throughout the day, a more stable mood, better focus, and a renewed sense of confidence in your daily life. These changes are subtle at first, but they tend to grow as your habits remain consistent, because your body is always responding to what you give it. So the real takeaway is simple. Support your body with what it needs. Avoid overloading it with what creates imbalance. And stay consistent with your choices long enough for them to make a difference. I am Dr. Charlotte Hayes, and I want to leave you with this final thought. Your health is not defined by age alone. It is defined by the decisions you make every day. If you found this helpful, continue exploring reliable, science-based information on men's health, because understanding your body is one of the most powerful tools you can have for long-term vitality and strength.